So are you thinking about moving to the Roseville area? Well, before you make your decision, I'm going to give you some things to consider if you haven't thought about them already. In this video, I'm going to give you 5 reasons that you may not want to move to Roseville, California. Now, stay tuned to the end as I'll give you my personal take on living in Roseville. What's up everyone, I'm Shante Tatau with the Living in Sacramento Suburbs channel. Let's dive into our first reason not to move to Roseville, and that's the weather. If you don't like hot summers, then don't move here. We can experience some pretty scorching heat waves during the summer where temperatures are in the triple digits. In 2021, our hottest days of the summer reached a scorching 110 degrees. That was not a fun heat wave. With hot summers, we highly suggest you get your HVAC system serviced every year in the spring to make sure you have enough refrigerant and that you address any issues before it really starts heating up. The last thing you want is your AC to take a heat dive during a heat wave when HVAC companies are slammed. Sometimes they take a week just to get out to you, and that's just to diagnose. If you're lucky, they'll have the parts in stock to get you back up and running. Trust me, we've been through this more than once. We've had to take the kids to my mom's and stay for a few days. So get your system serviced annually if you live in Roseville. Also, if you can afford a home with a pool or to add a pool, you'll get great use out of it 4 to 6 months out the year. And you can also use some of our Roseville recreation pools. We had a pool installed a couple years ago and our kids absolutely love it. For the most part, Roseville has some pretty awesome weather. I mean, you see people wear shorts and flip-flops in the winter here, so I'm definitely not complaining as I don't like it to be cold or shoveling snow, and we don't have to deal with that here. Moving on to reason 2, why not to move to Roseville, is the mosquitoes. They get really bad at certain times of the year, even in the winter. The county says it's due to rice fields that are about 5 to 6 miles away. So you'll definitely want to have mosquito repellent, maybe some essential oils, a citronella plant on the patio if you try to enjoy evenings outside at certain times of the year. Thankfully, Placer County has an abatement program where they do aerial and ground sprays, especially if their trackers start to pick up signs of West Nile virus. And they always encourage people to remove standing water so there's less breeding grounds. I sometimes wish we had those pool enclosures that they have in Florida, as bugs just aren't my jam, especially if they bite. Moving on to number 3, Roseville is a rapidly growing city with an ever-increasing population and continuous construction. So if you're thinking you want land and privacy and not a lot of people around, then this is not the place for you. With so many people moving to the area and even those that live in surrounding areas being drawn to our local amenities, traffic on our major thoroughfares continues to increase. Now, I've lived in LA and it's nothing like that, but for those of us who have lived here for decades, we can definitely feel the difference. It used to take me 5 minutes to travel across Roseville. Now, this was 20 years ago. But with the tremendous growth of the city and increase in traffic, now it can take 30 minutes to get from side to side of Roseville. Now, before we move on to our last 2 reasons, if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you'd like to know what it's like to live and buy real estate in the Sacramento region, make sure you go ahead and like this video, hit that subscribe button, and tap that little notification bell so you're notified every time we drop new videos. We want to help you make an informed decision about relocating to the area. My husband Danny and I are licensed realtors, and we absolutely love when our viewers reach out to us when buying or selling. So whether you're planning a move next week or next year, you got to give us a call, send us a text or email, or schedule a Zoom in the link below. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back when you're moving to Roseville or the greater Sacramento region. Now let's get into reason number 4, taxes and Mello-Roos. Depending on where you currently live, Roseville property taxes could be lower or higher. Most of the base tax rate in Roseville ranges between 1.06% and 1.1% of your purchase price. But in areas that have been built the last 20 years, we have Mello-Roos. Mello-Roos can be an additional $200 to $300 a month depending on the neighborhood. It's community specific. Now, you may have no idea what these are, but they're basically funds collected for public improvements and services to build the infrastructure of the new communities. They can include things like fire departments, streets, electricity, sewage, infrastructure. The builders determine what portion goes back onto future homeowners. And these can be indefinite bonds, or some pay off after 20 to 50 years. So the trade-off of having a newer home is you normally have higher Mello-Roos to account for the infrastructure. But you get the latest parks and rec and all the things that people love the community for. One of the most important reasons to be aware of this, though, is that it does impact your loan qualification amount, since this is calculated into your payments. So you may be able to afford, say, $650,000 in an area with no Mello-Roos, but maybe only $600,000 in an area with Mello-Roos. So it's really important that you work with a very knowledgeable realtor and lender to help you navigate this. Moving on to our last reason. If you've watched many of our videos, you may have already heard us say this one, but get ready for allergies when you move to Sacramento, the city of trees. Roseville is no exception, with the abundance of trees in the area, as well as dust from new construction. I suffered with allergies most of my childhood and even got allergy shots during college. Thankfully now, I'm not as bad, but unfortunately my kids and my mom still battle them yearly. Whether it's a runny nose, itchy eyes, or asthma, allergies are no fun. We've resorted to getting the kids allergy shots this past year, and they've been far better this spring, but still take daily allergy medications to help keep it under control. Danny often thinks I'm crazy, as I don't like to open the windows of the house, let in all the allergens, even though I love to cut down on running the AC and let that evening breeze in. So that wraps up our 5 reasons. If you can't handle these things, then you probably shouldn't move to Roseville. Honestly, I grew up here, and after college and some career moves took me away for a while, I ended up back here, and we've been raising our family here for 15 years and wouldn't change it for anything. It's an amazing city and community, and the pros definitely outweigh those cons. But as always, we want to give you all the information to make the best decision for your family. So if you're even thinking about Roseville or moving to the greater Sacramento region in the future, you've got to give us a call, shoot us a text or email, or schedule a Zoom in the description below. Our goal is to help you and your family make the transition to the region as stress-free as possible, and it comes at no cost to you to utilize us as your local resource. The sooner you reach out, the better we can assist you. See you on the next video.